All right, y'all, what's going on? It's Combo Breaker 99. I'm back with another post-fight analysis video. Okay, y'all, Erin Blanchfield versus JJ Aldrich. Good way to kick off the prelims. Really good way to kick off the prelims. Erin Blanchfield versus JJ Aldrich. I knew this fight was going to be a little bit more competitive than I thought. You know, as I went back and watched some of JJ Aldrich's fights, you know, just kind of watching the evolution of her and looking at the improvements that she's been making. You know, I said, you know what? If JJ Aldrich can keep this fight in the center, and if she can stop a lot of these takedowns from Erin Blanchfield, she might give Erin Blanchfield a hard time in this fight. And that's what she did. You know, she was the technical striker. She was the much better technical striker. She was able to piece up Erin Blanchfield early on in that first round and stop a lot of her takedowns. It was just using some nice angles, really making Erin Blanchfield have to reset throughout the fight. And Erin Blanchfield, like I said before, you know, I definitely see her as a threat to the division. But if she doesn't move her head a lot, you know, she was going to be getting tagged by JJ Aldrich, and that's what was happening early on. The thing is, Erin Blanchfield, you know, she's that pressure fighter. You know, she's going to keep coming forward. You know, she's going to keep throwing strikes, and she's going to try to impose her will until she can get you to the cage. But there's a few times whenever she would get into that clinch, JJ Aldrich was having more success. JJ Aldrich was actually looking a little bit more stronger than Erin Blanchfield. I don't think Erin was really prepared for that, you know. Because if you look at Erin's last fight with Miranda, you know, she was actually having an easier time with her. But JJ surprised me on how she could handle Erin Blanchfield in the clinch, you know, not just in the clinch, but from a range. You know, I thought, you know, the jab was working well for her. You know, she was really landing those good 1-2s and making Erin reset, giving her a competitive first round. But the thing that made me stick with Erin in this fight is that dog in her. You know, she just has that dog. She's kind of like Mackenzie Dern. She's always going to kind of find that way to submit you or find that way to win. And as long as Erin still had that pressure and she could take the punches, she was going to slowly break Aldrich down, I think, you know, with that body attack and just punch her way in and eventually find that way to just dog her out or submit her. And that's what she did. When she knocked JJ Aldrich off balance, knocked her on her back, as Aldrich tried to scramble back up, boom, she locked in that guillotine. Nice standing guillotine at an angle and just forced JJ Aldrich to submit. So I think it was a good competitive fight. You know, I think Erin definitely has some more things to work on, which I'll talk about here in a minute. But I think that's what was expected when you match these two type of styles up. You know, I think that JJ was just going to bring that type of technique that was going to give Erin, you know, some fits here and there. But Erin never looked frustrated to me. You know, she never looked frustrated. She just kept resetting, trying to get back in there. And she just continued to work the body and work the legs. And I think that's what kind of slowed Aldrich down in this fight. I mean, if you go back and look at the first round, JJ Aldrich, to me, she did well controlling the distance with her jab. You know, she was using that southpaw jab. She kept sticking it right in the face of Erin Blanchfield. But Erin Blanchfield, you know, she continued to apply that pressure. And she was doing smart by attacking the legs and the body. You know, she kept on hitting that calf kick, she kept getting that calf kick off and landing those nice side kicks to JJ Aldrich's body so she could get it on the inside. But Aldrich, you know, like I said, nice job of just resetting, you know, using that lateral movement, sticking some good 1-2s upstairs, just tagging Blanchfield and landing that nice right hook from the southpaw stance. She was cracking on that left side of Blanchfield. You know, she kept cracking her with those shots. Aldrich also looked stronger in the clinch to me. You know, she was able to stop a lot of Blanchfield's takedowns. I think she was like, what, 0-4 in the first round, 0-3 or 0-4 off takedowns, because Aldrich was just, you know, much stronger in the clinch. You know, she was just much stronger in the clinch, and every time she would reset, she'd go back to the 1-2s and just continue to move with that lateral movement. Then she went in for a body lock and got a takedown. Now, not much happened with the takedown, but I just thought it was impressive how Aldrich, the striker, went in and took down Blanchfield, who's the wrestler and the grappler here, right? You know, she took her down, but it just shows you, she took her down, but Blanchfield got back up, but it just shows you the improvements in the game of Aldrich. Like I said, good round for Aldrich, stopping all of Blanchfield's takedowns and, you know, just controlling that pace. I think Blanchfield, she was still dangerous because she ended the round, you know, with the head kick attempt and those body kicks. You know, she was still going at it. You know, she wasn't frustrated. I know some people thought she was frustrated, but I think Blanchfield, even though she was getting hit, she was still imposing her will. Second round, Blanchfield, she started putting on some more pressure, not respecting Aldrich. You know, Aldrich was landing some nice counters off the back foot, using angles, but Blanchfield still landing more strikes now, you know, because she was taking more chance. You know, she was landing more strikes down the pipe. Aldrich, you know, still landing her 1-2s. There was some back and forth moments, you know, some nice little back and forth exchanges. Aldrich, she did get another takedown just to slow the pace down. But, of course, Blanchfield, she got back up. I think Aldrich just doing a good job of landing her jab, too, off the back foot, you know, to really take her off balance. But as they met back in the center, this is where, you know, the mistake happened because Aldrich, I thought she was doing a good job off the jab. She did land some good knees to the body as well. She did land some good knees to the body. Aldrich did, but as they stepped in, I think it was a knee from Blanchfield, or as Aldrich lifted her knee up, I think Blanchfield's knee landed like to the body and just knocked Aldrich off balance, right? So it wasn't really like this hard knockdown. It was just like a collision of knees, or just Blanchfield's knee to the body just knocks her off balance. Aldrich, she got knocked on her back, but as she scrambled back up, Blanchfield just went straight for the neck. You know, she just laid on her, grabbed that neck as Aldrich stood up and just pressed her to the cage. And at that angle, she just turned it all the way down to the right. So Blanchfield's elbow was up in the air. So as she pulled down, Aldrich couldn't reach for that elbow. You know, she couldn't reach. She couldn't get any leverage as that guillotine sunk in. So she had no choice but to tap, man. So I was impressed. I was impressed with the finish. Overall, like I said, it was a competitive fight. And, of course, Aldrich was showing some holes in Blanchfield's game. But this is what you got to do if you want to be consider a threat to the division. You know what I mean? Like, not every single round is going to be an easy round or always a shutout. It's about how you find a way to win. And Blanchfield, she never stopped coming. So even though, like I said in my live stream, I talked about some holes in her game, I think Blanchfield still has what it takes to move forward and possibly be in the top 10. So shout out to Erin Blanchfield, but shout out to Aldrich. It was a simple mistake. Things like that happen. I still have to give her a lot of credit for the improvements that she's been making. But Blanchfield, I think when she goes back to the drawing board, she's going to learn from this, because there's still a lot to work on to get to the top 10 and top 5. But I think she'll be back into the top 15, no problem. But she's got to work on the defense. She's got that dominance down. She likes to come in there and impose her will, but you can't get tagged like that moving forward. You can't get tagged like that moving forward with bigger, better, harder strikers. Because this was a wake-up call. I'm going to go ahead and say it's a wake-up call for Erin Blanchfield, because she fought a good, precise striker in J.J. Aldrich. The thing is, Aldrich that never really sat down on her shots, and she just didn't have that pop to hurt her. Imagine if that was Taylor Santos. Imagine if that was Manon. Well, hell, before she even gets to those fighters, imagine that's the fighter that she called out in Maycee Barber. Imagine if that was Jessica Eye, because Jessica Eye is a very good boxer. Jessica Eye's got a good shotgun jab, so you can't just walk in on Jessica Eye's jab either, But imagine if that was Jessica Eye, but imagine if that was Maycee Barber. You can't just storm in head on the line against a fighter like Maycee Barber. Yeah, you might throw some of your strikes in those flurries as you come forward, but Maycee Barber, she's been getting stronger as well. She's been getting stronger in the clinch as well. But the thing about Maycee Barber, she always has that equalizer. You come in there, she land one of those big right hands or one of those clubbing right hands of hers, she'll make you change your whole game plan. So Erin's got to be prepared for that as she moves forward. No more storming straight in with her head on the line. I think that she can get away with it with some of these fighters that just don't have the pop, like Miranda didn't, Sarah Alpar didn't. Those fighters didn't really have that type of pop. But if she moves forward, she's going to have to start becoming more of a slicker kickboxer in there. She throws some nice head kicks and body attack, but, she's going to have to start taking her head off the line and start using timing and just starting it and just instead of, trying to just press forward. You know what I mean? So, yeah, moving forward, Blanchfield, she called out the winner of Jessica Eye, Maycee Barber. I like that, especially if Maycee Barber wins. Whew, that's going to be a big one, man. That's going to be a big fight. We're going to have to really look at that if that fight gets made. But J.J. Aldrich, like I said, just a minor setback here. Of course, it was a finish, so I think for her, a good fight would be somebody like Montana De La Rosa or Melissa Gatto, since Melissa Gatto's coming off a loss as well, because I don't think she's really missing that much of a beat, just some things to kind of work on as far as her grappling, because it was just a simple mistake, So I think somebody like her and Gatto, because, yeah, they're both coming off of losses, and they weren't really knocked too far down off their tiers, right? So that's a fight I'll take as well. Either that or, like I said, Montana De La Rosa. But, yeah, guys, let me know in the comment section what y'all thought of the fight. Erin still got some things to work on, yes or no. Like I said, I think she does, but I'm going to still keep her on my list because she's still a threat. She's still a threat. I mean, look how she got the victory. She walked through some rough moments in the first round. But like I said, as she moves on, she's got to improve, because there's going to be a lot of other fighters out here that's going to take full advantage of that lack of head movement. Combo Breaker 99, I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.